Live from Orlando, Florida, it's the second annual Vulgar Geniuses Award Show. Join us as we honor this past year's spectacular literary masters, emerging filmmakers, groundbreaking artists, and musicians for their extraordinary works. Welcome to the second annual Vulgar Geniuses Award Show. We're your hosts.
My name is Denny.
And I'm Veronica. And we're broadcasting live into your living rooms, computer screens, and cell phones for this very special podcast episode.
Today, we honor the authors who have made our second year completely unforgettable. Vulgar Geniuses was birthed from a text message and a Wu-Tang Clan name generator, with a sole mission to shine a huge light on books written by authors of color.
Their books have allowed us to reach people worldwide, form friendships with fellow book lovers, and open us up to genres we never thought we would ever explore.
So today, we say thank you. Thank you to everyone who has been a part of this ride. We hope that one day we will get to see each other and every one of your faces to talk about one thing that we all love, a good book.
All awards were voted on by you, the reader. So we at Vulgar Geniuses declare today that if you disagree with any of the winners, that's on y'all. So without further ado, let's get this party started.
We started the year with a simple goal, to interview 21 writers in 2021. We slid into DMs, publisher inboxes, and shot our shot with National Book Award finalists, New York Times best-selling authors, award-winning artists and filmmakers, and every time they said yes. Now, for the reason we are here today.
Here are the nominees for Best Podcast Interview. Brian Broom,
Mahogany L. Brown,
Jasmine Chan,
Naima Coster,
I Make Mad Beats,
Robert Jones Jr.,
Kiese Lehman,
Dantiel W. Moniz,
Azar Nafisi,
Martika Ramirez Escobar,
and Isabel Yap. And the winner is Robert Jones Jr.
Congratulations!
Thank you so much for this award. I just wanted to thank a couple of people. Denny and Veronica of Vulgar Geniuses, thank you so much. To the other nominees in the category, thank you. Thank you to the Orange County Library System, to the voters who found value in the interview and in my work. In the name of the ancestors, thank you.
We've all been there before. You have 12 hours before the book club meetup and you've only read the first page. What do? Get your hands on a copy of the audiobook, do the math, and push the speed to as fast as you can take it. But no matter how fast you speed it up to, nothing matters more than the voice making the book come to life. This next category is for those who not only bring the story to life, but saved book clubs in the process. Here are your nominees for Best Audiobook. Chlorine Sky by Mahogany L. Brown. The Final Revival of Opal and Nev by Donnie Walton. Gold Diggers by Sajina Sathian. Hell of a Book by Jason Mott. The Other Black Girl by Zakiya Dalila Harris. The Prophets by Robert Jones Jr. Punch Me Up to the Gods by Brian Broom. Shoutin' in the Fire, an American Epistle by Dante Stewart. The School for Good Mothers by Jasmine Chan. And the winner is Gold Diggers, narrated by Rama Valerie.
Hi, I'm Rama Valuri. Thank you to Vulgar Geniuses, everyone who voted, Penguin Random House, director Francis Emily Loy, and of course, Sanjana Satyan, who wrote this amazing book, Gold Diggers, now available in hardcover, paperback, and of course, audiobook. Thanks again.
There are storylines that transport us between the worlds of the familiar and the mysterious. In seconds, you can find yourself holding your breath, wondering if the little girl will jump from the ledge in milk blood heat, then being able to taste the red-flavored Dixie cup in the last suspicious holdout, to feeling the chills that run all over your body as a child takes a deathly bite from genetically altered food as his father watches in remorse in Never Have I Ever. Our next honorees each have created a collection that had us holding our breath and collectively clutching our pearls in their amazing short stories. The nominees for the Best Short Story Collection are The Last Suspicious Holdout by Lady Hubbard, Milk Blood Heat by Dantiel W. Moniz, Never Have I Ever by Isabel Yap. And the winner is Never Have I Ever by Isabel Yap. Congratulations!
Hi everyone, just wanted to say thank you again for voting for Never Have I Ever for Best Short Story Collection in the 2022 Vulgar Geniuses Awards. I really appreciate you taking the time to read my book. And Denny and Veronica, thank you so much for allowing me to share my work with your audience. Really appreciate everyone who read and voted, and thank you so much for supporting Filipino stories.
For most, our introduction to books started when we were children, but it was hard to find ourselves reflected in stories like Sweet Valley High or having to grab hold of the only representation we could find in popular books like The Babysitter's Club. But today, we see Asian, Black, and Latinx characters in stories that show children as fully formed with narratives that center around queer love stories, the deportation of loved ones, discovering powers in mystical lands, coming of age in the midst of teenage angst, and learning about how a young girl found her passion for sci-fi and started an Afrofuturism revolution. Here are the nominees for the Best and Young Readers category. Beast of Prey by Ayana Gray. Chlorine Sky by Mahogany L. Brown. Indivisible by Daniel Ailman. Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe. And Star Child, a biographical constellation of Octavia Estelle Butler by E.B. Zuboy. And the winner is Star Child, a biographical constellation of Octavia Estelle Butler by E.B. Zuboy. Congratulations. The poet or the revolutionary is there to articulate the necessity. James Baldwin.
April is National Poetry Month, and so we pay homage to the griots, the wordsmiths that mix magic with truth and tell us what the future holds. Please put your hands together for poet Michelle Flores with a visual poetry piece titled Heirloom.
Heirloom by Michelle Lizette Flores. I see my mother in my daughter's hair, curls begging to be unbridled, only craving the heat of the sun. I remember my mother sitting on her bed, crouched underneath a portable hooded hairdryer, slight glances at the TV so she could read the subtitles. I hear my mother tell me that I have my father's pelo lacio, and I'm lucky. I stopped cutting my hair for a year and a half, letting the ends grow frayed and split. I tried to curl my hair for a wedding. I sprayed and moussed and ringlets formed, but when I stepped outside, the humid air drowned them. My daughter runs her fingers through my hair, getting crumbs and juice in the strands, and I kiss her forearm, thanking her for this blessing of knowing her. My father's wife tells me her hair will be beautiful if it curls down, and I reply that her hair is already beautiful, because like Violet, it will do as it pleases. I rub hair cream between my palms, an organic concoction of oils and butters I picked up at a market. I work the mixture into Violet's curls and watch them shine and coil and live. I think of my mother as I do my daughter's hair, the story she would tell me of my abuela cursing her rizos, brushing her tendrils into submission. I tell my daughter she is beautiful with her dark curls and brown skin. In this way, curses are broken.
Each nominee came to us by word of mouth, and now their words will forever rest in our mouths when we speak about the power of language and introspection. Here are our nominees for Best Poetry Collection. America Mine by Sasha Banks. Ghost in a Black Girl's Throat by Calissa Ray. The Root Work Stretched by Mantis. And the winner is Ghost in a Black Girl's Throat by Calissa Ray.
Hey, I'm Calissa Ray, author of Ghost in a Black Girl's Throat and the 2022 Vulgar Genius Best in Poetry Award recipient. Thank you so much to everyone that voted for me. This is amazing and has made my day. Thank you to Vulgar Genius for all that you do and for this.
In 2020, we could never have imagined how drastically our world would have changed overnight.
We are eternally grateful for being given the opportunity to form a partnership with one of the most essential workers to the reading community during the pandemic, our local bookshop, Kizzy's Books and More.
Dr. Trinessa Williams helped us to be able to secure books for our Unleash the Genius reading initiative, as well as offer discounts to all of our podcast listeners and book club members.
Thank you to Kizzy's Books and More for making space for books by us, written for us.
We came up with an idea of bringing Vulgar Geniuses into the classroom. We wanted to create a space that was for children to be exposed to pieces of work written by authors that looked exactly like them.
We launched the Unleash the Genius Reading Initiative to help spark fire in young readers within the school system. We knew that it would require a lot to pull this together, and so we asked you to donate to this worthy cause. In a matter of 1 week, we exceeded our goal of $1,000, raising $1,500 to purchase books and create kits to start our first book club.
Fifth grade teacher Miss Brianna Jones and her class were chosen to be the first to launch our program. Over the year, we met with her amazing students as we read together and discuss the novel Ghost by New York Times bestselling author Jason Reynolds.
Thank you to all who donated and helped us continue to spark joy of reading in the lives of students at Eccleston Elementary School in Orlando, Florida. It is my belief that if you are desiring to read something that will stir your soul and lick the pot of your heart clean, then you need to read a book written by a Black Southern writer. The Vulgar Geniuses Honorary Book Award is given to a nonfiction writer whose works not only make a difference in the literary scene, but are also constantly fighting for social justice and economic equality. Today, we present this award to one of the most beloved and prolific writers of our generation, Kiese Makeba Layman. But you don't have to take my word for it. Here are some special people who will agree.
Hello everyone, I'm Sanel Barnes, last year's Vulgar Geniuses Honorary Awardee for writing and social justice work. I'm also the author of Monsoon Mansion, a memoir, Malaya Essays on Freedom, and a forthcoming book on the role of women in climate justice and the water crisis. I am also the editor of A Measure of Belonging, 21 Writers of Color on the New American South, through which I had the honor and pleasure of working with this year's honorary awardee, Kiese Layman, whose work in kindness and generosity and intelligence and genuine nature have paved the way for writers of color like myself, especially here in the South. I read his books and essays when I was starting out, and writing my first book and essays was obviously a difficult task, and he was there both directly and indirectly to help me through it all. He was also a faculty member at Voices of the Nation's Arts when I was a student there, and of course when my second book came out, he was so kind and generous to once again offer his words of encouragement about my work, about my book. These words were important to me at the time because I had someone see something in me and in my work that I was yet to see. And to this day, I still read this passage to myself every so often when I need to be reminded of the kind of work I set out to do and the kind of work only I can accomplish. And so these words of his continue to impact me and reverberate in my mind and in my ear, in my heart, and I'm forever grateful. And of course, I'm honored to pass on this award. Congratulations to you, and you deserve this and so much more.
Hello, everyone. I am Robert Jones Jr., author of the novel, The Prophets. What can I say about Kiese Layman? Many of you already know that he is a phenomenal writer, able to mine the depths of the human soul to bring up something that is difficult and useful. But what many of you might not know is how phenomenal a person Kiese is, who builds community wherever he goes, who paves paths for others to come along, who lends a hand to those in need, who is exceptional with his brotherhood. I could not have published The Prophets if not for Kiese's intervention, if not for him convincing me that The Prophets was something of value. I would have never believed it. And this coming from somebody who himself writes on next level. So I would just like to say, Kiese Layman, you are treasured, you are adored, you are admired, and you are loved. Love you, brother. Congratulations.
So I was having dinner with some writer friends recently, and the conversation turned to our dear mutual friend, Kiese Lehman. And we talked about how we'll be trying to give Kiese his flowers, and this man will be down in some dirt planting seeds to grow flowers to give to someone else. That's Kiese. Putting in the work for the people he loves, the people he champions, the people who need it, the people who, like me, who are inspired and uplifted by his work and by his heart. Kiese's work is brave, even as he tells us that he is not. Kiese has taught us that we can write with our whole heart, that we can put our vulnerabilities and our whole selves on the page without apology. Kiese has made it so that I don't want to write any other way. For so many of us in the publishing world, Kiese has been a gateway and not a gatekeeper. He embodies the fact that there is room for all of us, but we love Kiese not for what he does, but for who he has been and who he continues to be. Brilliant, beautiful, tender, honest, conscientious, gracious. There's some folks that I personally think he should cuss smooth out, but he doesn't. And above all, Kiese is Miss Catherine's grandbaby. He is all of his grandmother's dreams, walking through this terrible world and telling the truth about it. So congratulations, Kiese, on receiving this year's Honorary Vulgar Genius Award. I'm proud of you and proud to call you my friend and my cousin. May our ancestors continue to protect and delight in you.
We can easily get lost in the world of make-believe, but it will always be the world of truth that brings us back home to wrestle with our past, present, and future. Each of these authors embrace the task of being vulnerable to sound the alarm in the direction the world is spinning. They are the way showers. Here are the nominees for Best in Nonfiction. Candid by Gina Yashere. Read Dangerously, The Subversive Power of Literature in Troubled Times by Azar Nafisi. Punch Me Up to the Gods by Brian Broom. Shoutin' in the Fire, An American Epistle by Dante Stewart. And the winner is Shoutin' in the Fire, An American Epistle by Dante Stewart. Congratulations.
Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy, Dante Stewart. Everybody calls me Stu. And I just want to say thank you to all of you who voted for my book, Shoutin' in the Fire, An American Epistle. It is indeed a great honor and a great thing to be chosen as the nonfiction book by my friends at Vulgar Geniuses. And that's my daughter, who is celebrating as well. So thank you. And look forward to so much stuff that's ahead. All right. Love y'all. Thank you.
It is the artist, the musician, and the filmmaker that tells us what life is while creating the life that can be. They offer us the chance to make life anew, to choose the better option, and to explore the innermost depths of our soul's imagination. Vulgar Geniuses are doing just that as we expand our perspectives and bring into focus those that are the creators. Here are the nominees for Creator of the Year. Adama and Adane Igbo for their film Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul. Ember J. Phillips for her short film Abundance. I Make Mad Beats for his short film The Devil Will Run. Martika Ramirez Escobar for her full-length film Leonore Will Never Die. And Noel W. Anderson for his exhibit Heavy is the Crown. And the winner is Noel W. Anderson for his art exhibit Heavy is the Crown. Congratulations.
Well, first of all, thank you, Vulgar Geniuses, for giving me the opportunity to talk about my ideas and my work, specifically the show Heavy is the Crown, but also thank you for the members of the group, of the collective, of the world who believe in me and my projects. You know, Creator of the Year is an honor I never thought I would get. I never think that people are actually paying attention to anything I do. So when these things happen, you know, I have to say thank you, and I get a little verklempt. I cry a little bit. So thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you.
The best stories are always the ones you never see coming. Double lives, secrets revealed, and time travel were one of the few surprises we dealt with in our selections.
Trying to decide which novels would be in this category was met with a lot of discussion, a game of rock, paper, scissors, and having to ask ourselves which books sparked joy.
The next set of honorees left us all wanting to read more. Here are the nominees for Best in Fiction.
Hell of a Book by Jason Mott.
Long Division by Kiese Lehman.
The Final Revival of Opal and Nev by Donnie Walton.
The Other Black Girl by Zakiya Dalila Harris.
The Prophets by Robert Jones Jr.
The School for Good Mothers by Jasmine Chan.
And the winner is The Other Black Girl by Zakiya Dalila Harris. Congratulations.
Hey everyone, Zakiya Dalila Harris here, and I'm so thrilled that The Other Black Girl won the 2022 Vulgar Geniuses Award for Fiction. What an honor. Thank you so much to everyone who voted, who read, who shared their thoughts about this book. Thank you so much to Denny and Veronica for everything that you do at Vulgar Geniuses, for championing artists of color. It means the world, so thank you.
Well, that's it, everybody.
Thank you for celebrating year 2 with us.
We hope to see you in year 3. Bye.
Bye.